Welcome, Ropers and Ravens, to episode 40 of Dion Rising. This right here is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaign brought to you by the Knights of D20. Hey friends, happy Monday. As usual, before we begin trekking through trees and herding beasts, we have a few announcements brought to you by my friend who has a jewelry box I am dying to steal from someday. Bobby, please dazzle us with some announcements.
Of course. So me and Dane have really hard to bring IntMod Pod back to everyone, so you can expect videos to resume starting next week. We will be talking about Druid, so I will remind you again next week. As well as I have heard that Caramel is vigorously working to get Casting Friendship back out. So once some Season 2 is complete filming for them, they are going to be bringing that out to you, so you can get into the minds of two of the lovely ladies of the Knights of D20. On top of that, this week, we have a double host tea time for you. Me and Melanie are going to be getting together and just mad at everyone else in the group, because that's what hosts do. And if you have any questions for us, please feel free to head down to our Discord. It should be in our links below, strategically called All Our Links, where you can find all of the links to pretty much everything that we do. You can head down there, join that Discord. That's where we put all our news, all of our pet pictures, all of our wonkiness and silly memes, as well as where you can ask any questions that you might have for us. And that is all I've got for you, so I am going to send it back to our Dungeon Mother so we can get this hike on the road.
Thank you. I would also like to take a moment to add to your announcements today that last week, the Knights of D20 celebrated our 1-year anniversary from our first stream. And that's so exciting. It has been such a fun year of adventure and friendship and love and games and fighting and trying to kill you all. And this really warms my heart. It makes every Monday fun. And I love you guys. So happy 1-year anniversary. Too bad this scheduling BBEG is always there, so we can't do this all the time. So thank you all for watching. We love you as our fans. We love doing this. So that being said, let's do it some more and entertain the people. Last week, Zata asked the group, not last week, last time we played, Zata asked the group to turn further east so that he can speak his piece to his tribe and his family in Ilar and Hargush before they enter the Undying Wood, lest anything go horribly wrong and he isn't given another chance. The group agreed, and they set off on a rough trail journey across the eastern continent. Along that trail, they've stopped in a small druidic fortress city, Elt'tes, where they made an appointment to meet Druid King Simond in 2 weeks' time, and Seraphina found out Glitterbell may be keeping a few secrets from her. The group took their rest after speaking with 2 competing tribesmen, a Tardis folk and a kobold, who offered mounts in exchange for help completing the Rite of the Hills, herding wild horses across a valley to prove that they are free of corruption and control, and to sell the horses to other tribes gathered in Elt'tes, a city on the coast where Zata's own tribe are likely near themselves this time of year. So, you all wake in this stone palace, if it can be called that, of Druid King Simond. Zata, being one of the first 2 of your party who typically rises earliest, I think you step out to breathe in the ever more familiar air of your homeland and feel the warm rising sun as it comes above the wall of this beautiful, wide, squat stone city. You take a look around, and how do you start your morning?
I guess I would just be going around, probably looking around for some, just exploring the town, because it's nice to see more nature-oriented stuff from what he's used to. The other place that he was out, if it could be really called a town, more like an outpost, was also pretty open with nature, but this one definitely seems to be more one with nature, so he'll probably do that. But he's also going to probably take out a sending stone, which he's been having for a long period of time, and he's going to probably go ahead and send a message to their friend. He will say, "We need to meet. I have discussions to talk about Ere and the upcoming fights. Meet me at my tribe, the Redmane tribe, on the eastern continent. See you there.
Right. There's a pause for a few moments. And the sending stone you're holding gets a message back in that familiar accent. Understood. I will meet you at the city of Thelt in 4 days' time. Nothing
Okay.
more.
Kind of just puts the sending stone away and then starts his morning routine of more exploration around the town.
Okay. As you begin to explore this it's a very small city. It's definitely like you're used to on this part of the continent. It is very much an outpost. This is a druidic settlement, however, so it's less an outpost as like the fort at Verisrash over the Undying Wood. That is more of a military fortress, as much as it can be called that, rather than it's really just a defensive position against a whole woodland. This city was built without disturbing much of the woodland surrounding it. It doesn't have much in the way of walls. It does have just a low stone wall around the city that seems to be almost like ceremonial more than protective, as it's only like 3 feet high, and it seems to have like stones added to it in different colors and from different places. The stones of the building are all quite different. It doesn't have like a uniformity of culture or appearance or architecture to it. It's all very simplistically built. The palace of King Simon, where you all stayed the night before, not something you could really call a palace compared to what you've seen recently. It is the biggest building structure in this area, but it's mostly like outdoor courtyards and open air passageways between smaller buildings of different like bathing rooms and bedrooms and kitchens. Again, not the most defensible position, but you get the feeling as you walk around and take in the nature and the appearance of this place and the people. You see that it being full of druids and therefore wild animals and very lovingly maintained flora. It doesn't seem that they have too much to really worry about here, which is different for you. Being in the Eastern continent, it's not so often you find a settlement that isn't kind of constantly defending itself from nature's constant press or the invasion of other tribes. So it's quite peaceful and lovely here.
Yeah, I think Zata would definitely enjoy it being back in the Eastern continent. Being able to see just a different than what he's used to, like the more of the desert and the Sahara kind of areas, whereas this is more forest and mountain. Just kind of enjoy the fact, wander around, and then maybe see if he can wander around the courtyards, maybe see if he can catch a glimpse of the king, the quote unquote king of the druids.
I believe the druid Henley told you the king is traveling at the moment.
Oh, okay.
He would be back in another 2 weeks' time or so.
Okay, then
so you would not be able to spot him in the city.
All right, then yeah, just to wander around, just to see, just to kind of the life, and grab some food for Bula. See if he can find anything that Bula might want to eat that is maybe just meat. I don't know if they have anything meat related, but maybe anything else that she could say, like maybe like tofu, something that's my kind of meat.
They do. You note that some of these druids have like more carnivorous animal companions. Like you see someone walking around with like a dark furred puma. You see someone walking around with like multiple large wolf-like dogs. So you just kind of start asking around, and you're able to scrounge up a good amount of meat that you can then have someone grill for you. And as you're walking back, Bula, as you start to wake up in, if I remember right, a different room than Maraway this morning, or just a different bed. I feel like I remember Maraway crawling under Zata's bed the night before. Am I correct?
No.
No. There were 2 beds. He crawled under the other one, so she went over there. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Heck no, who are you? That's not happening.
Yeah, Glitterbell was Glitterbell was on my bed.
Not today, Sadie.
Mm-hmm.
Glitterbell slept with me last night. She was on my bed.
So tense. All right, yeah. So Bula flashing to you. How are you looking? Are you still zonked out? What are you thinking?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Hmm.
If there's not the arousing aroma of some sort of breakfast meats, then she's probably still snoring real loud.
Marway, usually waking up before her. What do you do upon your waking up from a dream? It feels just a little bit less. What's the word I'm looking for? A little bit less intense than you're used to. Not fun. Still a nightmare. How do you wake?
I think Morrowind would probably just I don't think he's gonna go too far with recent things that have happened between him and Bula. I think he's gonna stay in the room until she's up and probably just write in his journal about, his nightmares, things that have been happening, and whatnot. Just kind of keeping an eye on her because she's been going through kind of emotionally a lot recently. So I think he kind of sees it as his turn to protect her a little bit.
And you hear over Bula's snoring. Eventually, you hear the soft voices of Ados and Seraphina through the wood wall between your two rooms, where Ados has dragged in a third bed to make himself a double-sized bed, and where Seraphina is also waking up. Ados, you find yourself waking up with a bit of dry mouth after smoking some whisper leaf the day before. But otherwise, you feel okay.
Pour myself a glass of wine, start the day off right. Get rid of some of that fogginess that I got from the, what was it, whisper leaf?
Whisper leaf, or whisper grass, yeah.
Whisper grass. Haven't done that since the Luminara days. But do a little gargle and spit with some wine, and then I'll go out to meet with the others.
Yeah, and I think you'll note, Seraphina, how do you look with Glitterbell not in your room with you?
Seraphina wakes up very peacefully, without Glitterbell waking her up, just like with licking on her face, and so she very peacefully wakes up. She gets dressed. I imagine she's still mourning Zareth, so she I think she's still wearing black around town in memory of him, and she'll walk out and coldly look at Glitterbell in the other room and tell her it's time to go out for her morning walk.
Glitterbell does a big cat stretch on Zata's bed where she's stayed to sleep in after he got out of it. And she's like spread out across the bed now that he's not in it. She does a big old lazy stretch and kind of like shakes herself off and eventually like plods over to you and nuzzles up against your legs.
Seraphina is unmoved, but she takes her out for her morning walk.
And Killian, you probably rose very shortly after Zata, so what did you do or where did you head whenever you woke?
Yeah, so I probably didn't wake up too long after Zata, but Killian would head outside. First thing he's going to do is actually summon Casimir. So he's going to use Find Steed to summon Casimir. And he just wants to kind of take a nice casual ride atop of Casimir, just around the city, just kind of slowly making his way towards the Dwarven Forge area where he was told to come pick up his order yesterday. So he's going to do that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think on your ride around, getting Casimir's legs stretched and everything, and getting yourself and your back ready for a journey, you do ride around like sort of the outer edge of the city, and you see this place where a lot of the trees have kind of been cleared to build a big like paddock fence kind of thing, and you can see a herd of some 300 maybe horses, wild horses, all sort of corralled in this makeshift paddock. And you can surmise, based on what your friends told you the night before, that this would be the herd that you will be potentially traveling with across the valley, so that you have some mounted rides to get you there faster.
Killian's just going to think to himself, I feel like the group didn't know how many horses we have to take.
And with shaking your head, you ride around a little bit more, and you make your way back to that blacksmith, who greets you kindly and excitedly, and shows you the work he's made. He has a set of bullets made for you from the mold that he created himself. You note that he went ahead and, out of sort of like excitement for a very like creative project, he made you some based on the bullets that were already with the pistol that she gave you. But he also made you some of a different shape. He made you some that are a little bit more elongated and pointed that will still fit in the gun's chamber. So you have a couple different kinds of bullet molds. He doesn't make you the bullets of that. He just made you the mold to get more made because he didn't want to overcharge you for something you didn't agree with.
Oh, well, I see you got rather inspired by these bullets that I gave you.
Not often I'm making anything that's not, well, a cooking utensil or a riding crop, so I was happy to do it. It was a fun challenge, and if those work, they work. If they don't, I'll write it off this year. It's fine.
Well, I
hope you can make use of it.
I'm sure I will. Just a thought. I had this last night after I dropped off the bullets to you. Do you think there'd be a way to, like, fuse maybe some kind of, maybe like some kind of acids or like magical parts with these bullets, like with these irons or anything like that?
He gives it a thought for a minute. He tells you to wait a second, and he runs sort of back into another part of this like forge area, and he starts digging in these crates and going through a bunch of like piles of paperwork and old things that they never pull out here. And he finds this old tome and dusts it off and opens it up, and he explains, this is actually an old book of my family's, but I do believe I had a great aunt somewhere along the line who was infusing swords and daggers with different properties. And he's flipping through pages trying to find... yes. I can't tell you exactly how it would work with a projectile, such as what you have been using, but I have some schematics here for potential combinations that have been made in the past by my ancestors. I could jot them down for you if you would like to take them with you to another forge on your journey.
Absolutely. I would love to see if we can get some unique properties for these bullets.
All right. How long do I have while you're in town for me to write this all down?
Well, we're going to be doing the Rite of the Hills, I believe. And I believe that's leaving today at some point. So we have until that long.
Are you going to come back through this way?
Well, yeah, I passed by where they're corralling all the wild stallions, so it shouldn't take me long to get back and forth here.
I mean, after your trip, this could take me a couple days. I have quite a few different recipes I could write down for you and formulate.
Well, I suppose we'll be coming back through this way. I'm not entirely sure, but nonetheless, if you could do that for me, and if I happen to come through, that would be fantastic. And if not, well, at least you have extra copies.
All right. If you come through this way, I'll have them ready to go and fold it up in folio for you. Free of charge.
Well, I thank you very much. Hopefully, these bullets will protect myself and my friends. That's what guns are for.
Okay, excellent. And you make a handshake deal that he'll work on that for you in his spare time. And it was wise of you to ask. Okay, and Zata, you arrive back with a platter of freshly roasted meats for Bula. Marway, you've managed to scrounge up, as Bula rises from her food, you find some excellent tea from the druids, along with a very, very lovely plate of large root vegetables, big, beautiful carrots and turnips, all like roasted in like a honey spice sauce. It is a divine breakfast.
Okay, I have a dumb question because I have a goldfish brain. Did I receive like a pouch of tea from Benji to go, or was Zata just joking about getting that? I can't remember
did.
if we
Zata
actually did it.
I feel like Zata asked him, maybe jokingly, but I think he did it and brought you a pouch of dried tea leaves. I think.
I
if
feel like he
remember right.
did. I think that's the tea we're gonna be drinking.
Okay. You're going to politely turn down the
Specifically.
druid tea and brew a cup of Benji's. It is just as good.
Probably better.
Although there's something about it that you wish someone else had made it, maybe. Tea's never as good when it's not served by a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and the rest of you managed to gather. You're staying in this just sort of a line of open rooms here at the quote-unquote palace of the king. So you're all able to sync up pretty quickly and decide what you're going to do with your day. You know at this point where the horses are being herded, so you know that you can head out of the city whenever you're ready.
Does anybody have any more errands to run before we go be cowboys?
So we're riding these things? I thought we were.
They will give you. They told you
herding
they will
them.
give you some trained horses to ride while you're herding the entire herd of wild horses.
That sounds more doable.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's about 300 of them that we're going to be herding towards this
And
destination.
They're trusting us
Can I go ahead?
with 300 horses.
I mean, we literally have somebody that can talk to horses, so maybe it won't be
I
too
was gonna
bad.
say, can I go ahead and like get my ritual for speak with animal going?
Ados, do you not
Yeah, of
remember
course, yeah.
having that lengthy conversation in the in the building with them while you were?
You were there for
Oh.
all of it.
I remember, but I imbibed a little too much of the whispergrass. So I was in a
It was good
higher
stuff.
state. It was good stuff. You had some too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a little bit for the road.
Yeah, I think Ados. I think you remember the feelings and everybody's emotions during the conversation very strongly, but why people were feeling those emotions? Nah, nothing.
Yeah. And it's a good thing that they
Not-
had all that to smoke, because I don't know that I would have agreed to be herding 300 horses. I think I've been on a horse maybe twice. So hopefully you can make friends with a whole bunch of horses, Marway.
I mean, worst comes to worst, you could just ride on Casimir with, right over there, and then he won't kick you off. Casimir seems like a good dog, good horse that won't, kick you off.
I didn't even get to ride him yesterday. Okay.
I saw you ride around this morning. You're fine.
It's
My
my
horse.
turn next to ride, Casimir.
My horse. I
I
want
do-
to ride him.
I'm just really
I
glad
do
that
need
nobody
to
would
know.
remember Castle Deer's name.
I do need to know, is Seraphina wearing her comfortable boots again?
Yes. Yes. But she has her skirts are like hiding them.
I like to think you're like standing on your tiptoes whenever you're standing still.
Like a Barbie.
Yes. Exactly. No heel, but you could be wearing a heel. Okay, yeah. Marway, you are well able to do your you were using speak with animals?
Yes.
Yeah, you're able to ritually cast that, so you have that going for you now. And unless there's anything else you all need, Henley does stop by at one point, swings by, pokes their head in the door. I do hope you had a comfortable and well-managed stay last night, and if you require our services again, please don't hesitate to ask. Lady Blackthorn, your appointment stands for 13 days from today.
Oh,
King's
perfect.
Inn.
We will be there. Just a quick question. I noticed yesterday with your exchange with Glitterbell, is there anything you can tell me about her that she might have conveyed to you by any chance?
Glitterbell and I sort of touched each other's souls a bit, and I think there is much to understand that even I don't know about your small pseudo-dragon friend. And I hesitate to speak out of turn.
I understand. Seraphina just like
Perhaps-
curly turns.
Perhaps may all three of us sit down when you return to Elt'tes and have a conversation.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Gladly. Well, may you ride with the wind and maintain the balance as you travel. We will see you soon. And they turn and head off. Glitterbell looks, Glitterbell's, like, head is just laying. She's laying down and her head is on her paws. She's, like, not looking at you, like a dog who has done something bad.
Yeah. Seraphina is giving Glitterbell the side eye. Very displeased.
Okay. Do you all head over to the horse paddock?
Indeed.
All right. You are able to get there easy peasy. Riding up on Casimir, you note that a lot of the wild horses like start like sniffing the wind as you guys approach, and particularly like you see some of their eyes, like you can see the whites of a few of their eyes, and their eyes sort of start rolling at Casimir's just presence and what he is as a horse, as a concept. You just note that they are cautiously curious about Cass. But otherwise, you also see the kobold that you met the day before, sitting there, sort of squawking commands at a couple, what appears to be fellow tribesmen, other kobolds, in their own language. And he turns and sees you all approaching. Excellent! Our hired help has arrived. We will take the prize this year, and I can guarantee it with all of your assistance. And that is a steed like we have not seen before. What is his name?
Oh, this is Casimir. and I'll just-
Cashmere.
Cashmere, yeah.
Casimir.
Cashmere.
Casimir.
A great name.
Clear.
Casimir.
Castlebeer! An even better
Castlebeer.
name. I'm sorry, Common is my second language. I'll call him Cass.
That works.
Anyway, that works. And he barks sort of a command at one of his fellow tribesmen who runs off. And you see him sort of in like a separate side paddock pull out. They each have their own pony tied to a post nearby. They all have much smaller horses because they are small little kobolds. But they have a paddock of horses that are already covered with like a riding blanket. They don't really use a lot of like leather riding gear. But they do have a riding blanket and just like a rope crop for each of, or a rope rein and bridle, bit and bridle for each of the horses that they're bringing over from this separate paddock. And they're all full-size horses. There are a set of beautiful mares and a couple stallions. And the kobold hiring you says, these are some of our very few full-size mounts, but I think you'll find them swift and dependable as we journey together. They will need to be. It is a bit of a treacherous pass, as your Leonin friend would be able to tell you. So let's decide who's riding who. It's probably important that you choose a horse that would choose you back, so be sure to commune with them each.
I think Maraway, knowing that stallions are a lot easier to ride and mares are a lot more headstrong, is probably going to try to go for one of the mares because he's pretty confident in his ability to work with animals, whereas some of our party probably is not. You know who you are.
Yeah, you approach one of the mares. Do you immediately use your speak with animals, or are you going to let the kobolds introduce you?
Of course,
Alright.
I'll say hello.
She is a beautiful palomino. She is like sort of stamping the ground a little bit impatiently now that she's been brought out and bridled and ready to go. She says, "Hello, boy."
Hello, horse. This one is Maraway. What is your name?
I am Fireheart, at your service.
That is so beautiful.
Marway is, interesting. Do you know the way?
It's what my mother gave me, so.
Well, shall we ride? I am literally chomping at the bit.
Of course, let's go. And then I think he's gonna look to Bula to help him get up on the horse. Because Marway's just a
She's
wee
gonna
little
look at him and
boy.
she's gonna say, "Did you talk to her? Is she nice? Is she gonna take care of you? Because if she doesn't, she better know what's gonna happen."
I think she's going to be just fine. Her name is Fireheart.
All right. She's like hardcore side eyeing this mayor, like, don't even think about it. And then she'll hoist him up, little hooves and all.
Yeah, there's no stirrups, so you gotta fully, like, flip him over.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're able to mount. Marway, go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me. As you just jump right to it.
That's gonna be a modified 24.
Okay, beautiful. Bula, with you side-eyeing this horse, Marway on top of her, she goes pretty still. Like, she feels comfortable, she feels sturdy. You feel good. And Bula, she immediately, like, stills as you're putting Marway on her, and you can feel that she's, like, bearing the weight well. It gives you a little bit more comfort putting him on this beast. Okay. I'll describe the other horses and you guys can tell me which one you approach. You've got a, like, dapple gray, female horse. She's, like, a couple hands taller than the one Marway just climbed up onto. There is a dark midnight black, like, not a speck of another color on him, male horse as well. Just slightly smaller than the dapple gray. The biggest horse is a female. And she's like a very, like, muddy brown, very basic. Like, if you picture a horse, that's her. She's large. And then you've got just a gray and white, like a very, like, silver white horse. And that's the other male.
So Bula's gonna go up to the biggest one. And she'll just, she grew up on a farm. She's worked with beasts of all shape and size, and she just kind of comes up, lets her know she's there, pats her real hearty on the neck and says, "Well, you look like you can handle someone like me." And then she'll kind of steady the horse and just go ahead and swing on up.
Yeah, roll an animal handling.
Yes, yeah. Uh, 18.
18, wonderful. Yeah, this horse, as you climb aboard, at first, as you're approaching, you see the kobold you've been talking to, like, "Oh, no, oh, careful, I needed to introduce you." But he sees you swing right up there like you grew up on the back of a horse, and kind of backs up a little bit respectfully. All right. It would seem this horse is not being as still as Marway's. This horse is stamping back and forth, kind of turning, doing little tiny, like, whiskers. This horse is ready to go, but you feel well seated and comfortable. He says, that's Amethyst if you need to know.
I will take the pretty one, and I'll walk up to the midnight black horse.
All right. You have, the kobold says, and that one is Twain. He's quite well mannered and tempered. Go ahead and roll an animal handling as you initially sort of approach.
13.
13. Okay, unfortunately, this horse, as you're approaching, and you are Eidos, you are full of confidence. This horse, like, turns 45 degrees, and you get kicked for 1 bludgeoning point of damage.
Only one.
I thought you said these were
I was
trained.
about to say, you're lucky. Only 1 point getting kicked
Yeah,
out.
really.
Hell.
Yeah, it didn't seem to want to do too much damage, but it does not like the disrespect with which you approached. It eventually turns and, like, looks at you out of the side of its eye.
I'll put out my hand with nothing in it because I don't have anything. Well, I guess that
Can my
rations.
horse, like, gallop past Eidos and tap him so I can give him guidance here?
Yeah, you sure can.
I do the How to Train Your Dragon thing where put out my hand. Okay, so
Alright.
is that another animal handling plus D4?
No, with what you're trying to do, let's just do a charisma check
Charisma. I'm good at that.
and add that guidance.
If I
that
whisper
Marwa just gave you.
comforting things to the horse, can I give him the help action for advantage?
Yeah, sure. And I'm sorry, I meant out of charisma, I meant like persuasion.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad I had
You already
to
have
reroll that.
advantage on persuasions. Does that work on with your crown? It's an animal.
Use your
Oh, yeah, that's
tiara.
true.
Horse is enamored by the tiara.
A nat 20. Okay.
Nat 20.
This horse feels that it has appropriately set the level of respect and that it can now trust you to go ahead and climb up. So it's sort of like it turns so that you're at its flank, able to climb up.
Alright, I'll definitely climb on top.
I'll give
Alright.
Eidos a boost. I don't think he knows how to mount a horse very.
Yeah, no stirrups, nothing
No,
to step
sorry,
up on here.
nothing else.
Yeah, usually we have plenty of finery to dress these horses. I don't know what you call it.
You're like, where
So
are
thank
the
you.
stairs?
Right.
Okay, and that leaves the kobold says, that leaves Storm Step for you, my lovely lady. Motioning to
Oh, which
Seraphina.
one is Storm Step? Is that the silver one?
I think so.
Yeah, I
Yes.
guess that'll
I
leave me with
love that our
the
lightning mage did not get storms.
Alright.
Okay, so Seraphina, I imagine Seraphina has ridden on horses before, but they're all very trained, and she always has help getting onto a horse. They always have very comfortable saddles. And so she's gonna walk up confidently and wait for someone to help her onto her horse.
I'll be right there. Hold on.
She
Gotta
like
get-
raises her
I
arms.
I gotta get Eidos up. Hold on.
Thank you, Zata. You may go.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your animal handling, Seraphina, as you approach.
Oh no, it's a 3.
3. Okay, this horse takes off running. Your dress is way too big and brightly colored. This horse is terrified of you. Doesn't
It'll-
help that
Oh my
like
gosh.
Zata's right there with you. And like 2 kobolds go racing off on their much smaller ponies to try and catch it.
Killian will kind of set out with Casimir and help the kobolds rein in the horse.
Mhm.
These horses
Okay.
are very poorly trained.
I mean, they are wild. That is kind of the thing.
Killian, are you gonna try and use like an animal handling here, or try and use like, skill like lassoing or anything like that, or using the whip? How are you going about this?
Chain whip.
You're gonna you're gonna catch it well before the kobolds do, so you'll have a moment of decision to make.
Yeah, Killian will just use he still has his like regular whip. So he'll
Yeah.
just pull that out and essentially use it as like a riding crop in a way.
Yeah.
So he'll try to kind of like go in front of the horse that's running away and kind of just snap the whip on the ground in front of him, just to try and like almost like startle them to stop.
Yeah, I think you absolutely do that. That works well enough that I won't make you roll for it. You manage to get in front of it and have it sort of shock it into submission. And you're able to grab onto that rope bridle that's hanging from its head and lead it back for Seraphina to climb aboard. And Zata's there to help Sarah climb up. The
Oh
horse
my
still
gosh.
is not a fan of Seraphina, but it will behave now that it is being led.
Can I ask Fireheart if Fireheart would be okay with Seraphina?
Well,
I
if I must, I can carry anybody who you ask.
Excellent. Let's let Seraphina take Fireheart because she seems to be much more agreeable to the situation.
Okay.
And I feel like actually being able to talk to Stormstep will be a boon in calming him down.
Yeah. Starting off with a horse afraid of one of you would not have made this easy. So, yeah, you're able to. And Stormstep says, and who are you?
Hello, this one is Moraway. Sorry that my friend startled you.
Yes.
Why is your friend made of large pink?
I
That is
don't
not a normal shape
know.
for a human.
Not really, but I'm still trying to figure out human customs and whatnot. They were all kinds of silliness. I don't really understand most of it.
She is shaped like a pyramid. I don't like it.
Well, I know that she likes the color, and I think for her it's her way of surrounding herself with things that she likes that brings her joy, because we should all do that, yes? But there are things that you enjoy.
You have tasty looking flowers on your horns. I like those. I don't want to eat them.
Okay.
I'm not rude. I just think that they look interesting. I've never seen someone wear food on their body.
I'm gonna cast Goodberry, and then I want to, like, offer him one.
Okay. She eats it happily. She seems to like you well enough.
Excellent.
You're not strangely shaped in scary pink.
Or this one's a male, yes?
This one's a female. Stormstep is one of the females. Stormstep,
Okay.
Fireheart, and Amethyst are all the females. And Oblivion,
I
who
thought
is
they
now
were
the last
2
one
and
left for
2.
Zata. And no, we got 5. There's one left for Zata. Oblivion is the last one.
Nice.
And that's one of the
Yeah,
males.
we want to make sure she's nice and fed. If she wants to be, of course.
Of course. Okay. Yeah, she does eat that good berry and seems well excited to earn more. She feels she says, I shall be brave in the face of your pyramid-shaped friend. I swear it.
Well, thank you. That would be very much appreciated. You remind me of a friend that I have. He also steps through storms.
I would enjoy meeting him.
I immediately summon Huthamer.
The horse immediately takes off with you on it. As the lightning cracks and Huthamer appears. And as you all watch this horse go into a large, wide loop, with Maraway uncontrollably trying to hold onto the reins on top, let's take a quick break before you set off on this crazy journey. So, we will come back in about 15 minutes. That's like 15 after the hour, so 9:15-ish. Stick around, watch the ads, do the capitalism, come back and see what shenanigans happen on this horse. See you soon! Hey y'all, welcome back. Thanks for waiting, thanks for sticking around. I hope you bought everything that the ads told you to buy. It's all very important and necessary to live a happy and fulfilled life. You have to spend money to do that. That's how the world works. So, buy the stuff from the ads, and then come watch D&D with us. So, when we left off, this gang is getting ready to leave the small city of Elt'tes, the sort of druid stronghold here on the eastern continent, heading east toward the city of Felt, which is, if not like the home city of Zata's Leonin tribe, it is a central hub of all of the nomadic tribes far east. So that being said, they have climbed up onto some horses that some very successfully managed to be friends with, others not so successfully, but they've all managed to help each other onto a horse in one way or another, and you are ready to go with a herd of 300 wild horses that you are tasked to get to the city of Felt without losing too many of them. It is a sort of competition, an age-old ritual and rite of passage for different tribes in this area to get these horses across the continent for sale in Felt. So, that being said, I'm going to need you guys to decide on this first day of travel who is sort of, pardon the pun, taking the reins.
Killian will do it.
Guy with the horse,
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah.
All right. In that phase, Dane, I will have you roll a d8 for me.
D8. All right.
Can
7.
Marway and Seraphina have Eden and Glitterbell kind of taking turns flying over the herd, watching for threats?
Sure, I will keep that in mind if a threat arises, yes.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Okay, it was what, a 7?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. With that 7, your first day of travel goes quite weirdly smoothly. as you come more quickly out of the woods and into the sort of hilly grassland, riding on your horses. Everybody's doing this. Surprisingly, a really solid first day of travel. You guys managed to sort of take different shifts and get this sort of like rotation going around this massive herd. That now that they're not penned, they are spread out, they are wild, they are running in whatever direction they can at this point, and you guys have communicated a really good pattern of keeping your own horses moving around them in sort of this ongoing perimeter as you move through the woods, and you manage, from what you can tell, not to lose any. And in fact, you're moving quite in sync with the herd of wild horses. You can almost hear the hoof prints at one point are like a drum beat. Like Zata, I think you start to feel like this is what this continent is about. This sort of rhythm of nature and beasts and people working together to carve out a living in the wild. And that first day goes very smoothly with that 7, thanks to Killian's leadership. And all of your quick thinking and your ability to be on your own horses and remain seated and well in control of the situation. And you come to nightfall, when it is not so safe to travel. So the kobolds riding with you offer up a chance to rest. They very quickly, you guys can help build a very large, like from fallen trees and cut limbs, you build a large paddock to keep your herd in so that you can all settle in for a night of sleep. And you are camping. So aside from Seraphina, who has a yurt, which I'm assuming Killian immediately begin setting up for her, as per usual.
Thank you, Killian.
I think, that being said, isn't carpenter's tools a thing in
Yes,
D&D
they are.
rules?
Yes, it is.
I think Killian has done this so many times without complaint. Killian, I would like to give you proficiency in carpenter's tools.
Oh, great, so I could build it faster and more often.
Yes.
So
Excellent.
now you have no
Practice makes
excuse.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It's an almost useless proficiency, except in building your...
Like carpenter tools specifically for yurt and yurts alone.
Has to
Like
be
the old-
home shaped.
Everything you build turns into a yurt.
Damn it.
The only tools you can use is like the Allen wrench that comes with the yurt.
Oh, yeah.
Marway, you overhear Stormstep sort of muttering to herself. The building it sleeps in is the same shape as her. Interesting.
I guess you could say she likes to keep a theme, no?
It's cone-shaped is the theme. I see. Humans are strange. She goes back to eating some grass.
They really are. Did you know that I once saw her lay an egg?
Humans do not lay eggs. Say more.
I saw it. She lifted her dress, there was an egg, and she hatched it.
The rest of you hear a horse like a donkey, like guffawing, laughing in shock. To you, Marway, that is guffawing laughter. And not understanding, but being very entertained by the idea of that.
I'm glad I'm not riding that horse. It appears to be ill.
Marway, the horse asks, which end did she lay the egg from? The pointy end or the big one?
It had to be the big end, because when I came over there, she lifted up all the big pyramid areas, and there was the egg. And she was sitting on it like a bird.
Have you checked to see if there's more eggs underneath? Perhaps breakfast is in order tomorrow.
Oh, I haven't looked. Looking under a lady's skirt is not necessarily good form.
She doesn't understand what that means. I'll take your word for it. Now, I've run all day, so please let me enjoy my water and stay far away from all those
I give another good berry.
Chomps it right down and starts sniffing at you, like nuzzling at you for more. With that, like, horse lip with their teeth out kind of thing, looking through your bag.
I look around to make sure no one's looking, and then I give 2 more.
She's happy. She's satisfied. Yeah. As you all settle in for the night, is there anything anybody needs to do? Conversations to be had, or shall we go straight to bed for another day of travel tomorrow?
I'm gonna poke Killian.
You have something for me to build too, huh? What?
When have I ever needed you to make me build anything? And I'm more of a leather worker, not a wood worker.
Oh, sorry, it's been a very stressful day.
Yurt making seems to be very stressful. Good for you for doing that. Good for you.
I feel like I wasn't given a choice in the matter, but I feel like I've gotten pretty good at it, though.
Tools of the trade and all that. I mean, if you retire from the order, you could always just go build yurts for people, I guess.
Well, there's only a few ways that you actually retire from the protectorate, and one of them involves being buried in the ground. So we'll see what the years have in store for me.
Question: if I bury you in the ground now, does that just mean that and if I unbury you, does that mean you're out of the order?
I'll have to look at my order's bylaws to see if that's appropriate.
All right. No. So, serious note though. I got in contact with a super cool friend, and he's gonna meet us at Felt. Just want to let you know that.
Which super cool friend are we talking about? I feel like we've met many super cool people along our journeys here.
The tiefling guy,
Archangel?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
that
Yeah,
one.
Archangel. Yeah.
Did you told him to meet us there?
Yeah. I had to have some stuff to discuss with him. I thought we should do like a little check-in, see how Darkdown's doing, that kind of thing.
Okay, I wish you would have told all of us that was what you were planning on doing.
Well, it was kind of a thing, and better to ask forgiveness than permission.
I guess so, but what are we reporting to him? We haven't found the next relic.
Well, we got some information. I thought maybe we should let them know about what happened over with Seraphina, and maybe he has some information about that thing that they're trying to unleash upon the world, and get some more information. Maybe help you with your whatever you got going on, and and my stuff.
Your
Good
stuff?
times. Yeah, just constant things with Ere. Nothing really big or whatever. Yeah, and you need to maybe he'll have some information about the order or something that he's dug up for your family or something. I mean, he does contact with the Hells, so that's probably your best bet on trying to find your family, because your dad was sentenced to hell.
No, it was actually the Abyss. So
oh, sorry.
Very commonly mistaken between the two. It's one of those things that if you don't know about it, you're gonna say one or the other. And
right.
But speaking of Ere and all this stuff, did you want this back? And he'll kind of show you the symbol that you gave him, basically.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, I guess I could use it. Kind of takes it tentatively. Yeah, I'll just hold on to it for now. But yeah, so just want to let you know he's gonna be there. Seraphina's probably gonna get super excited to see Darkdown again. I mean, she's not really Darkdown anymore, but she is Darkdown, but she's not really Darkdown, but she is, kind of a thing. Anyways, I just wanted to let you know, and good job today. You did real good.
Well, thank you very much. Hopefully tomorrow goes just as smoothly as today did.
It probably won't.
Well, all right. Positive attitude.
Realistic difference.
And then Killian will go back to, he'll set up his tent over there. Maybe go do that.
So Seraphina slips into her comfortable high heels when she enters her yurt. And I think before bed, she's going to try to connect with Glitterbell. Like she saw Henley connect with him. She kind of like smushes her face like close to hers, trying to like stares into her eyes, like Henley did. Try to make a connection.
Glitterbell's long forked dragon tongue is out, just licking your face. You're like holding her to your face, but actually having to hold her back. just let me. She's licking, getting all excited. Her body's wiggling, like serpentining. Her head is still, but her whole body is like, trying to play. She's like, I don't understand this game, but I like it. I want you to go ahead and roll an insight check, please.
Okay. 12.
Okay. You sort of commune with her in the strange, unusual communication that you two have always had since even like maybe when she was still in the egg. And she eventually calms down, her body calms down, and she just kind of like presses her like very horned, tough head against your forehead and keeps that eye contact and kind of looks sleepily at you. And you, what kind of questions are you conveying here? Are you directly asking? Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna like give like a slow blink when I look into her eyes.
Like how you get a cat to like you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to ask her about the secrets that she revealed to Henley.
Okay. You get, for maybe the first time, and especially because it seems you're asking about this directly and sort of questioning the nature of your relationship, why she's here with you, what maybe she conveyed to Henley. You feel sort of a sense of like sadness and worry about what's coming for you and her. And when you ask like about the purpose of why you were sent on this quest to find her and what drew you two together, you have this like sense of that she is almost as confused as you are, but that she knows it may not be in either of your best interest as much as she loves you, but that it is destined, is what you feel. You feel this sense that she is at a point where destiny is overcoming the fear. That what will be is where she's functioning from. You get the feeling she's not giving you as much as she maybe directly gave to Henley. You can feel that she's holding a lot back. But she doesn't know what to tell you. She's never been asked like this before.
Despite
But you
the
can
fact
feel that she loves you.
Okay. I think Seraphina still feels a little jealous that she revealed more to Henley than she's revealing now, but she'll cuddle up to her and go to bed.
Okay.
And like stroke her as they fall asleep together.
And she curls up real small like a cat, but she's got her head like laid like across your side, your hip.
Yeah, Seraphina can't move now for the rest of the night.
Yeah, for sure. You would disturb her, and that's unacceptable. She's too cute. Every time your legs fall asleep, you just look down at that big snoring head on your head. You can't upset her. Okay. Anybody else, anything to do or talk about before you head off to bed? Once you see the rest of your companions starting to hit their bed rolls.
I think the Eidos is just leaned up against his pack near the fire, and he's got his circlet persuasion pulled low across his eyes. He's rolling up a nice featherweed or
Whisper
grass.
Whisper grass.
Whisper grass.
Featherweed.
Nice.
Writing that down for my other campaign.
Yeah, that's what they got in the continent over on. Yeah, he's just rolling a nice one and looking up at the stars like he always does. At least starting tonight.
I think Morroway in his tent for two that has him and Bula in it is gonna. I think he's gonna spend a little bit of time reading his book about creating extra-dimensional planes, while waiting for Bula to fall asleep. And then after she's out, he'll probably start trying to go to sleep.
And Bula's been walking around the camp after she got off her horse, and just a really stiff, super bow-legged, like, looks like she has the world's biggest wedgie. And she's like, oh, man, it's been a real long time since I rode horses, especially for that long. Are you guys not feeling this? Like, just the most awkward bow-legged waddle.
You don't just like get up on the horse or like stand up on it or just like lay on it or whatever. That's how I don't really deal with it.
She just looks at you, she goes, stupid cat. She just goes on. she waddles into her little tent.
I think you giggle to yourself as you remember a joke that your great uncle Vernon told you once about a cat on. It's not appropriate to tell in public, so you won't tell your friends.
She giggles about it though.
Oh yeah. Okay. With that, the kobolds that are traveling with you, only a few of them at this point, also settle in around you. You see them take up a watch with torches and lanterns, making sure that the perimeter of the horse paddock stays safe from beasts, fell creatures. And you all get a good night of sleep, so go ahead and long rest it up, babes.
Nice. 1 point of HP back.
From a horse kick.
Yeah.
Okay, who is taking the lead on day 2? Shall it be Killian
Bula
again, or
should
is
do
someone
it.
else gonna do it?
It's not Bula.
Bula's gonna jump back on her wide mare there, and she's like, all right, you know what? We got this. I feel much better. We slept. And so she's like kind of showing off a little bit. She's had a day to remember that she knows how to do this. And so she's got, one hand, and she's got a rope. I don't know where she got a rope, but she found a rope. And she's
Serafina.
just swinging.
Seraphina's yurt.
Sure.
Obviously, she's been hanging out with Serafina. She's like, oh, yeah. So she's like swinging it. She's yipping and hollering and getting all the horses going and getting everybody up and make sure that there's definitely breakfast for everyone to start with. Before she gets everybody up and moving, and she's just like Hollywood cowgirl today.
Oh yeah. I like to think that somehow you have a pair of assless chaps right today. Not that you're not wearing pants under them, because that's ridiculous. You would definitely get blisters, but
Okay, but also assless chaps is so redundant.
that's
what they are.
They're assless pants that are called chaps.
Chaps.
Solid point. Only someone from where you're from would correct me on that.
This is a conversation.
I'm
that
alert. This is
real
new
life.
to me.
This is a conversation that I've actually had in real life so many times.
And I will remember it until the day I die. Okay, Bula, in your regular old chaps, which don't have an ass no matter what, go ahead and roll a d8. An assless d8.
An assless D8. Is that what the 8 is?
The 8 is an ass.
Am I modifying this in any way? Because
Nope, not at all. This is a table. It's not even a check.
Great. It's a 3.
3. It's a random table. It's all right. The 3 isn't necessarily a bad thing. It is random. Okay. Bula takes the lead today. She is a pro at this. She raises you all. Everybody gets a good hearty breakfast and a second breakfast that she's already packed in little like satchels for each of you that will just clip right on your belt, so that you have a food for the road. She rouses you all. She gets the kobolds up and running even. Gets that paddock pulled down so the horses come out in the right direction. And taking Zata's pointers about which way they need to head to get to Thelt fastest. she takes off with you all, leading the troops and giving everybody sort of their riding plan for the day. That being said, as you come out of the more woodland part of the eastern continent, you see wide grassland open like a maw of nothing in front of you as the tree line dies out. And it is just like miles and miles and miles as far as the eye can see of barely even hills. We're talking like Illinois level flat as you look across miles of grass. And for some of you, that's a beautiful sight. It's a different kind of sight than many of you have seen. Zata, you're familiar with this, but many of you would not be. But those of you like Zata and Bula, and probably even Marway and Killian, would know that where there's no trees, there's not a lot of food or sustenance. So you all sort of take a moment to, as you're riding, double check your rations, portions, and all of your supplies. Luckily, you have Goodberry. You have a flask of endless water or something.
Decanter.
Yeah, so that's helpful, but you also know that you have 300 horses to get across these fields of grass. So it shall be a challenge. And as you're riding and the heat of day is at its worst, this wonderful, gloriously cool breeze rolls in and keeps the temperature very mild. But after a minute or two of that, it kicks up the dust, especially from the herd. And so this massive dust storm, both created by you and created by this fell wind coming in from the east, dust is just up like miles into the air. Is just dust and debris and just like choking fine sand from the ground that this grass grows in. I'm gonna need either someone who is like taking the lead here to try and like maintain this on their own and give everybody sort of marching orders to get through this, or you can roll as a group a survival check. You guys can decide how that looks.
If Bula is the one that kind of took the day, she knows that there is strength in numbers. So I feel like she would be kind of telling everybody, like, we got to do this together. We gotta keep it together, kind of thing. So I feel like
you're gonna play on everybody's strength.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's used to
And I
working
will
with
say,
a big family crew, so.
All right, and I'll say with that leadership decision, which is just a good choice situation to use everybody's strengths, I will let you, instead of doing a group just survival check, you may choose to roll survival for your person, for your character individually, or you as an individual could choose, if you can describe to me how you're going to support keeping on the right track and keeping the herd of horses together, not letting any horses away in low visibility, and with the horses starting to panic from that low visibility. So you may either choose that survival check for your role, your group role input, or you can choose another skill that you can describe to me how it's being used. I'll let you all take a moment to decide.
So I think Marley is going to use like eyes in the skies to kind of keep an overhead view of the herd, with a mixture of message so I can keep in contact with everyone at the same time, despite being, spread throughout the herd to keep them together.
Okay. To put a role to that, let's call it, that's a good choice. That'll help kind of, it is hard. Like, it's not like you have an aerial through that flying. Like, this dust storm is blocking view of the whole herd, even from the sky. However, having something flying from person to person around the perimeter is going to help let you guys know if there's horses escaping at any particular point. So that'll be helpful just as like communication and the message. So let's call that a perception roll with advantage.
That's going to be a dirty 21.
Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to write all these down. This is a group check still, so we're going to take like an average of everybody's rolls, but you get to describe to me if you're not using it. So who else wants to contribute here?
Seraphina, go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
Can she cast Fairy Fire on these horses to try to get visibility on them?
read for me Fairy Fire. I think that's
Okay.
a good idea. That gives you good visibility, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they're like highlighted almost. Objects in a 20-foot cube within range are outlined in blue, green, or violet light. I'm gonna say it's pink. Each creature in the cube is also outlined if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius and can't benefit from the invisible condition.
Okay. I like that a lot, so I'll give you advantage on the roll for this. But that being just a 20-foot cube, it'll be just for the horses that like are on the side that you're watching. So it'll be for the horses that you are currently in charge of, or like that edge of the herd, basically.
Yeah.
You can do it to those horses. So again, I think just lighting them up, that'll give you like perception with advantage, so that you're watching the herd and keeping your part of the line in check.
Okay. So I'm doing a perception check.
Yeah, with advantage.
Okay.
Because you use that fairy fire to help actually visibly watch them.
I have 16.
That's pretty good. Okay. Still going in for average, so I'm just recording these. Okay, who's next?
Can I 1 second. Can I also have Siege and Huthamer out and just send them to help anyone who might not feel super confident with this? You know, having a herding kind of dog wolf with them?
Yeah, like using like the help action or like a guidance.
Yeah, just like a help action.
Okay. I will say that each of them can do that for one person. They can be there to help them as this ride continues. So you'll have 2 of those to use as you see fit. And I would like you to... I'll say they can decide who to help after we see the rolls. I'll allow that because you can have them checking the whole crew to see who's struggling. Okay. What's everybody else doing?
Killian would like to, since Bula is kind of like at, I'm assuming you're at like the front of the herd, Bula?
Yeah.
You could be at the front of the herd, or you could be managing by like doing a whole perimeter of the crew.
Yeah, she's gonna be kind of all around because she's got to be able to communicate and to check and see. So she's got y'all in your spaces, and she's kind of hitting the in between points as well as she goes.
All right. Well, as you kind of like, maybe me and Killian and Bula are like at the front at some point. Killian's going to just throw his whip over to you, like his regular whip over to you. Just tell you to hold on to it so I can find you in the dust storm. And Killian will then head to the back of the herd. And if he's in order for him to kind of keep track of where Bula is and kind of how the herd is moving, he wants to cast locate object on the whip. So he kind of has like that, he just sees her circling the perimeter, so he knows like where she is at all times basically, and like where the herd is. So he can kind of like, you know, if he sees anything stray off from the back of the pack, he can kind of wrangle them back in.
Yeah, I love that. I love all these creative uses of all your spells. Yeah, that will help Killian specifically, knowing like if Bula like has to take off to chase down like a group that is broken off from everybody, or knowing if one part, like if she's doing the perimeter and one part of the herd starts to lag behind, you can clock that from where you are, and you can kind of move in to help support where there are weaknesses in your guys' sort of patrol pattern. So you can either, like the others, you can either use a perception check with advantage, or I would allow this to be an animal handling with advantage.
I'm gonna do perception. And you said it's at advantage? Okay, advantage, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the use of these spells are what's giving you guys advantage. Otherwise, these would be kind of just straight rolls.
All right, that's gonna be a 21.
Beautiful. Second 21. Okay. Who's next?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
Okay. Zata's going to probably... How fast do the horses go? Like 60, 80? How would you say? How fast are these?
Horses movement speed. Let me see.
I think it's like 60. What's my horse?
Yeah, I think it's 60.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Speed
60.
60 feet, yeah.
All right, so Zata can move as fast as a horse. So he's just going to jump off his horse and he'll do his elemental attunement to kind of try to see if he can calm some of the storm. He can't do a lot, but he can also give himself a lot of reach and movement. So he'll probably look like his lightning kind of form, trying to move the air, try to give visibility, and then moving around in between the horses. Like if they get stuck or anything like that, he can actually get inside the herd fairly easily by using acrobatics and stuff to just like jump over and around and kind of move them in a direction that they need to, just by like jumping on top of or like moving them, and then also trying to manipulate the elements as much as he can with elementalist, which isn't a lot because it's a cantrip, but it is something he can do.
Okay, so you're trying to actively like keep the herd calm, keep them from panicking and dashing or bursting away from the group.
Right, or if there's like an extreme like amount of like dust or something coming up, he can like try to force it away with some of his, elemental power.
Okay.
Maybe like fire or
Okay, this is very physical.
Mhm.
So I think I'll go ahead and give you advantage since you're using your elemental abilities and it is specifically a storm and you can help like heat and cool the air to slow wind patterns and that kind of thing. I will let you choose between either I'm thinking hard. You can either use an like acrobatics check with advantage as you just like move from thing to thing to thing to thing, like jumping through the herd, keeping yourself on your toes and moving among a running herd of horses that are in a bit of a blind panic without getting trampled. Or you can use a survival check with advantage.
I will do survival with advantage. Gives me a little bit. They're both about the same, but survival's just a little higher. That will be a 22.
22.
Good thing I had advantage because that would have been a natural 1. That would have been bad.
That would have been a bummer. You guys have 3 out of 4 so far above 20, so that's good news. Who's next?
I think it's just me left. I'll take a note from Seraphina's playbook, and I'm going to cast Dancing Lights. I'm going to create a kind of a string, kind of a runway to keep the horses in place on the other side. Something to guide them by at least. I think it's 4 lights, and they can be 20 feet apart, so it's just going to be 20 feet ahead of me, then 20 feet. Yeah, and just to try to maintain a boundary to guide the horses out of this storm.
Yeah, you're like creating like a wall of light for them, or like a little, like you said, like light posts for them. Very clever use of that spell. Okay, go ahead and roll. You can either do perception just to like keep the line where it needs to be, keep it going straight as you travel, and keep those lights just constantly going along the right path. You can like so perception, or I would take survival. Works pretty well there too.
So,
just keeping a straight line, keeping on the right path.
I'll take that perception. 18.
Wonderful. Okay. That average is like 20, basically. So, excellently handled this massive dust storm that is stinging your eyes by the time the wind dies down and the dust settles. The horses are all like the whites of their eyes are showing, which automatically shows that the horses are quite scared and exhausted from what has just happened. But you do sort of like a very rough count as you like slow them down to a walking pace. Start to try and figure out how you managed to keep the herd together. You don't appear to have lost any horses in this storm, which could have gone very sideways, but you guys' creative problem solving and quick thinking on your feet and just your teamwork ability here saved you. So you come to sunset, and the kobolds, who look exhausted and frazzled, but like they've gone through this a time or two themselves, congratulate you and they tell you to go ahead and take a rest for the night as they once again pen in the horses with just bundles of sticks that they have been sticking in the ground around them. And as they are doing so, your initial kobold friend, you see after him and a few of the others finish setting up this sort of paddock, you find them like sitting on this little like grassy hillside just overlooking the one of them is like digging deep down into this like sandy dirt to the point where they've hit like very dense clay, and they're sitting there like rolling little tiny beads out of ground clay and setting them in a little pile, and the other one is sort of baking them over a fire to harden it. One of them is like whittling little like bone pieces into beads. One of them is like stripping feathers and like poking holes in the stems of the feathers. They're all working on these little trinkety things as the sun goes down and the fires start to burn.
While we're all getting settled in, Killen will go over to Eidos, wherever he happens to be. And Killen will just kind of sit down next to him and say, so, Zata told me he reached out to Archangel last night, or I guess the day before. I don't think he's really told anyone that he's going to meet us where we're headed.
What? Why would he do that?
I'm not entirely sure. He wasn't too clear as to the reason why, but I think he's having some kind of midlife crisis or something.
I mean, he must be. Why would anybody just call their boss and say, "Come and get me"? Did he seem all right?
Well, I mean, ever since we got to the forest there, he has been acting quite strange. Like he gave me his holy emblem of Ere to hold on to because he seemed to be having some kind of crisis of faith. And then, yesterday we were talking, and he willingly took it back. So I'm just not 100% sure, but something's going on with him.
Maybe all that we discovered about Ere, he finally took to heart. Which seems strange at the time. He was quite hard-headed about it. I thought that he would have walked right past it. But what does that have to do with Archangel? I wonder.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. We not as though we haven't learned a thing or two, but we're really no closer to finding that the last relic. We're more or less on a little bit of a wild goose chase, kind of chasing down rumors from the last time it was heard about. He brought up maybe he has some information about that cult that was in Nerdistan. Archangel did seem to know quite a lot about the dealings of the world, so there could be something there, but I don't know, it seems like it's a personal thing for Zata.
Well, that's all fine, but if his personal thing is calling all our boss, the boss of all of us, and having to meet us in the town ahead, then it's no longer personal, it becomes our problem too. Maybe, I know this is silly, but maybe we should ask him. I don't think anything will come of it.
Hey, we're men here. We don't talk about our feelings and stuff. Keep that bottled in and make suspicious rumors about each other.
And Eidos does a couple punches, like I get that, but this is about work,
Well, if he's done this, once, it's things just come to mind about, maybe he's done it before without him telling us. I don't know, just a lot of things kind of come to mind, but maybe it is something that we all need to kind of talk about.
Shall we talk about it tonight? It sounds like it's going to happen regardless, but maybe we should have a game plan going into it.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea to do that, considering we're meeting with his family soon, and that seems to be the point of contention for him.
Y'all are talking and having this conversation. You just see Bula like close enough, but not close enough to like hear what you're saying, and she's just like, just that real bow-legged like, right across your vision, just.
But are you okay over there?
Huh? What? Yeah, fine. What do you ask?
Walking a little funny.
Yeah, just the
You're
general
walking a
way.
little funny.
Hey, I never walk funny. Though my ass has taken a beating the past couple days, I must admit.
You walk like you've got a corn cob stuck up your butt most of the time, so I don't want to hear it.
Why is everybody laughing? I don't understand. Bula, we need to talk to Zata. Jokes aside, Zata called the Archangel and has him asked him to meet us in the town ahead. We don't know why. I think it's time for a company meeting.
Without telling anybody?
Yeah. Can you believe it, Zata?
He called him that old devil?
Oh, you don't think this was that kind of call, do you?
What kind of call?
Then he, I don't know. Archangel's a handsome guy. I don't. Was that
Like
was
a
that
booty
Zata or was that? I don't know. Was that Zata? Was it Seraphina?
That is not
Well, you
an
need to
appropriate
get your head out of the gutter in the saddle.
That's a company phone.
They track the logs on those things, okay?
All right, let's go find Zata and Seraphina and Marway. And I think we need to have a sit down.
Because Killian built the yurt, he knows exactly where Seraphina is.
Looks like it's got two buses.
She's lounging on like a chaise lounge, just
He'll
drinking some wine.
he'll knock on the yurt beams that are there. Seraphina, you in there?
Yeah, Seraphina opens the flap. Yes, good evening. Can I help you?
Yeah, we need to have a little company meeting. Just a little context. Zata reached out to Archangel the other day without letting any of us know.
Oh, Seraphina like smooths her hair.
Maybe it was Seraphina.
Yeah, and he's just been acting a little bit strange ever since we've gotten to this continent. So, I think we all just need to have a little bit of a conversation with him just to see what's on his mind.
Okay. I'll get ready. And she'll close the flap as she go get dressed for this meeting.
2 hours later.
She needs to change out of her indoor heels.
Medieval power suit.
I think Bula would know that Maraway is at the horse area, and I'm going to be casting on the grass underneath them, so they have ample food to eat.
Very wise.
Bula walks by, goes and gets
so.
Marway. She walks up to him with her bow-legged, like squeaky leather pants. Like, she's like, "Hey, we got to do a thing. Something about our boss. You know that old devil. You know. Well, just come on." She's like, has told him absolutely no information whatsoever.
Right? The actual
tap her
devil
on the shoulder and do like lesser restoration. I don't know if that's gonna help with the bow-leggedness, but it's worth a try at this point. It's getting a little sad to watch.
I think it does. I think, Bula, you finally feel like your hips are back in the right alignment.
She like shakes out a little bit and like pulls out a wedgie, and then she's like, "Oh man, that's Sure. Okay, so we gotta go. We gotta come on. We gotta do a thing. She's walking a little bit better.
Okay. You all gather up. Zata, where do they find you?
They would have to find me because I think he's just enjoying being in like the tall grass and just kind of not next to anything. So he's just kind of enjoying just being out like he used to, just enjoying the flat land, trying to be like, you know. Huh?
Is he like my cat out in the bean field hunting field mice?
I think it's not even just hunting. He's just actually enjoying being back finally under the sun, but not like having anything that would necessarily give him away because like in the plains can be necessarily very dangerous to like have a fire or anything like that. So he's probably just like hidden, not intentionally, but just hidden somewhere within the grasslands.
He's purring and rolling around on his back.
There you go.
Batting the grounds.
Yep.
He's got a long straw out. He's got his.
Killian will, because we're all looking for him. Killian will use locate object on the emblem of Ere.
Yes.
To
That
find
helps
him.
you locate him and sitting under the wide open sky. It is nightfall at this point, and while you would think that being out here in the open would be quiet and peaceful, there's bugs like just singing out loud. Birds are singing, night birds, and mockingjays are out flitting around, catching all the bugs. It's a beautiful night. And you find Zata sitting there enjoying it under the open sky.
Huh. Zata, there you are.
Well,
Zata, what gives, man?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
okay, we're just
enjoying
going
the
right in.
night.
We're just getting right into it. Okay.
Look, there's a reason we're all gathered here today. We're all your friends. We love you very much. Why'd you call not the cops? Why'd you call our boss?
which one?
I don't like that we call him our boss.
Did you-
I didn't agree to say that.
I'm just saying we have a couple of bosses.
Oh, that's true. Why did you call?
Oh, yeah, that's what we really have in there.
Why did you call our benefactor Solvok?
Or is it Archangel?
Ghost
Oh.
Archangel.
Archangel, yeah.
What?
Yeah, so I'm like, I didn't call the demon. I didn't call the very sexually
It's a
attractive devil. I mean,
Koshtar.
no, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say, Koshtar.
Oh, the other good-looking guy. Yeah, no, I called him. Yeah, that's fine.
Why'd you call him?
Had check in. Needed to get some information. He knows some stuff about Ere. Thought we could do a little check-in, and I'm sure Seraphina would love to see Dark Down.
I believe she goes by the Yurka these days.
Yeah, she's still Dark Down to me. But yeah, it's just just do a little bit of a check-in, see if there's anything that's changed. Setting stones don't give us a lot of information. We can only get like 30 words in. So I thought maybe we should just have a little sit down, and then we can at least get some information on, his whereabouts with Dark Down being there again, or Eureka. And yeah, I just need to get some information based off of like where we're going. He's been around for like a long time, so maybe he'll have more information on the where we need to go, or if he knows stuff, or even about the forest itself. I thought that more information the better.
Well, it's not that you did it. It's why didn't you tell us or ask us?
I honestly didn't think it was that big of a deal. I kind of don't think of him as a boss. I kind of think of him as like a coworker, or just like an ally. So I was just kind of calling him up. I didn't know it was like a big deal. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to be a big deal. I just called him.
I believe that this is truly for just delivering a status report, but you keep mentioning Ere. What business do you have with him and Ere?
Well, we gotta get an area artifact, right? So, get some more information about that. Stuff like that,
No,
Good.
That's right.
Well, I mean, we already know information about Ere, and truth be told, Zata, since we've gotten to this continent, I've noticed you've been a little bit on edge and a little bit back and forth with Ere, seeing how you gave me your holy symbol of Ere when we first were at the forest over there.
Yeah, just need some more information about stuff about it. It's pretty cool.
And what information are you looking for?
Did your goddess not enslave an entire people and, curse your entire lineage and stuff like that? Nothing, big.
Just
Okay.
the little things.
Small things, really, in the
Details.
grand name of things.
And, I just can't help but, know that we are headed towards your family and meeting up with them.
Yep.
Given what you've told me about your family and their devotion to Ere, I'm just, hoping that you don't, I don't know, upset individuals of your tribe.
That will probably most likely happen, especially to my mother.
Okay.
I mean, she's a priestess, kind of a thing. But, I went and talked to this, seer dude that was, blessed by one of the gods, and he kind of told me some information. So, it's kind of a big deal. But I need to, know if they know that information or not that information. And then I guess kind of need to explain that information. And then also having somebody that also probably knows this information would also be really good to, verify and stuff. And then that way I can kind of lead my people to, not worship a god that's probably enslaved the people that they used to worship. Just kind of like that kind of a thing.
Just a little thing like changing an entire tribe's religious devotion. After how many years have your people been worshiping Ere?
A lot, quite a lot. But again, we used to worship the elementals, and then they kind of got taken over by Ere and enslaved. And then she just said that, hey, I'm the cool person of elemental power now, and y'all are cool. But then I might not be because the elementals actually blessed me. So that was kind of siding with Dion at the time. So really, we're just actually liberating people, right? We're not actually changing. We're just liberating. It's totally different.
Because, anytime that's ever happened in history, it's gone perfectly.
Yeah, obviously. That's why we're doing it, right? Everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows and happy flowers afterwards, as Marway would say.
It's quite true. Anyone can be redeemed and saved if they so wish. I mean,
There you
look at
go.
Zata here. He went from an angry war kitty, and now he's a happy let's save everyone kitty.
Yeah. So, that's just, again, I didn't mean to step on any toes. I didn't really think of him as a boss. I just kind of thought of him as a pretty good looking coworker, that you kind of are a liaison or whatever. You just kind of casually called upon that if you need some help. And he said to just randomly ask for help when needed, if it was necessary. And I felt it kind of necessary. As a personal thing, and like I said, we needed some more information, and I think that the information with what happened with Seraphina's stuff, that is maybe he has more information about the cult or what their whole shtick is, or maybe even knows where stuff is happening. He seems to have his fingers dipped in a little bit of everywhere, and maybe he's gotten some information on that that guy that we've released on accident and is totally going to take over the world.
I think everyone would probably feel like we just want to be kept in the loop when any kind of decisions are made. That's all. That's all we want. And I know you're going through a lot right now, and as long as you find the answers that you're looking for, don't feel like you have to correct your entire tribe, because they might not be as open-minded as you are. You willingly left your tribe to explore the world and learn more about yourself. The other people of your tribe might not be as open-minded.
Yeah, that's totally what I did. So Yeah. Don't worry. It's. I mean, it's my mom, right? I can always talk to my mom. She's the head priestess of RA, and I mean, we really don't really have a head priestess or whatever. You want to have like the priest. But it's just you just have to have a casual chat with your mom. Seraphina did it. I could do it. It's no problem. She changed her mom's mind. I don't think it should be that much of a problem.
Boola's like, am I gonna have to go in and threaten your mama as well?
Probably
Chip her
not.
dishes.
But she is pretty scary, my mother. Not saying that you're not scary. I think on like a scale, like you're probably like a 9, and she's definitely like a 10. So she's got that, scary mom vibe going for her. And religious moms are always the worst. They always hit you with the the edicts and everything, and it's very, very terrifying. But yeah, but it'll be good. My mom's pretty reasonable. I think I can connect with her, and if I give her the right information and talk to my tribe,
Yes.
we're very close knit, and we have discussions, and we just have to talk about it. Should be fine, probably.
And if not, we can be pretty scary too. And I think Marlo is gonna like make a face, but standing right next to Seraphina, who also is not scary.
Absolutely terrifying. Yep. So like I said, no problem here. So just going to see our contact, and then our friend Doc Down, and or Yurika, and we'll just get some information traded, and then it'll be super cool. And sorry, I won't ever do that again. Next time, I'll just make sure it's a private call next time. Not meeting up anywhere. It's just kind of a hey, how's your day doing? Kind of a thing. What you wearing? Kind of a sort thing going on. But whatever.
Hey, with my spinny wise.
So much love. Smiley face.
Wink.
Well, and now that we know what this is about, the minutia of you having your entire religious beliefs being shaken, and we, of course we understand you need answers, and a check-in would be nice for both parties, I think. So let's get you the answers that you need, or at least the direction on where to find those answers.
Yeah, so, just trying to figure it out, just, a lot of stuff going on, possibly never going to come back from that spooky woods and dying there without ever well, I don't know if we actually die or they just never heard from again, but, that was kind of a, scary kind of thing. And then like the guy was all like, oh no, I've forgotten my faith, and I was like, well, my faith isn't really strong right now, so that's kind of okay. But I feel really bad for Killian right now because he looks like he is going to flip his shit, but everybody else seems pretty okay.
Hey, my faith in Oasis is rock solid, okay?
I don't know, he seemed pretty shaken about that whole thing. I mean, that guy seemed pretty rock solid, and he was completely, I don't care about the gods anymore. I mean,
Hey, listen, I
yeah.
saw it in him, and then I saw it in you, and I was like, wow, this is happening to a lot of people.
Right.
Not me, though. Never
No,
me.
no, never you. Of
Never.
course not. Never. See, we're all rock solid and good, guys. So nothing bad happening. Well, good.
I'll consider me convinced.
Mm-hmm. Also, Bula, have you talked to your friend lately? The Destroyer?
Why would I don't know what you... Huh? She's just like the reddish shade of green.
You have this like uncontrollable image flash in your mind, Bula, of Varmox, like in like a very sexy, low buttoned pirate, like flowing white shirt in the wind, like looking out the front of your guys' ship.
And
Stoically
eating a sandwich at the same time.
Yeah, eating a sandwich.
A sandwich in both
Ripping.
hands.
ripping into a sandwich.
Oh yeah, and just
Essentially.
pegs of meat all around him. Essentially,
You just like
licking
look over.
the sauce off the bread.
You look over, and she's just like, she is in
Immediate
her own
notebook
world.
writing down.
You all
Yep.
watch this play out on Lula's face, like, oh no.
And then, as everybody's noticing that, that's when Zata just slinks away. Distraction. Misdirection.
Okay, incredible. You all, as you get ready to settle for bed, you know at this pace that you've been going, you should be at Felt by sundown tomorrow. So you have one more day of riding to prepare for. Is there any preparation needed before you head on your last day of journeying?
I would like to cast Druidcraft to see what the weather will hold for us tomorrow for the next 24 hours.
Fascinating. Okay, in order to do that, I will need the person who's going to take the lead on day 3 to go ahead and roll that D8 early, just in case there's a weather event. I won't tell you what it is if there's no weather event. I'll just tell you if it's clear.
Okay, I will do it.
But if
Since
there is a
this
weather
is-
event, that'll give you.
This is my turf. My turf
Yep,
now.
this is definitely your property.
I got an
here.
8.
A full 8. Okay.
I got those assless chaps.
You mean regular chaps? How many times can we say asses in one game? Let's go. Okay, Marway, you use your druid craft. You know that at sunrise, a heavy mist is going to roll in. It's going to make visibility low, but not as bad as the dust storm. You will still be able to see your herd. It's just going to be a misty, sort of one of the rare, quote unquote, like rainy days. They don't really have big rainstorms here. It's just a steady, wet mist that's going to come. Otherwise, it will be a pretty mild day weather-wise. And in fact, it might be good that it's going to have some precipitation. Give your horses some fresh water and keep everybody cool. So, any preparations or anything before everybody settles in to yurts and or tents?
I'm gonna go around, because I think Zata would have gotten like little cloths that everybody can cover their face so they don't get, dust and everything in them. He would have known that ahead of time, so he's just gonna kind of like, oh yeah, I meant to give this to you guys, but didn't really help yesterday. But here you go. I was working on it. It should keep out the dust from your mouth. Really, really, really terrible. You can also put it over your eyes too. You'll still kind of see, but it's only when it gets really bad do you want to do that. But you can just cover yourself, get the dust out. It's very useful out here.
Thank you, Zata. This would have been useful today too.
Yeah, I was working on it. It was kind of like my project that I was doing, and I didn't finish it
Oh, I
till
see.
last night. So
But thank you. Thank you very much. I shall keep it on hand and on face.
also you can use it to like cover your head because the sun out here is killer. You guys have like exposed skin and stuff, so you might get like burnt or whatever. I heard that's like a problem with people that come visit us. So just be careful.
Bula takes it and like sticks her tongue out and uses it to like scrape sand off her tongue.
Okay. And unless anybody has anything else they need to do tonight, everybody heads off to their bedrolls, and we begin our next day. Once again, sunrise comes early. Zata, you are up and ready to go. You are back in your turf, your territory. You can smell the groups of tribes. You can smell the wildlife on the wind. You are home, as much as you've ever had a home. Everybody mounts up with their double breakfast, courtesy of Bula. And just as Maraway sensed, a steady mist started at sunrise. And it's quite cooling to the skin. And you take off riding. And I'll have everybody do one more Sorry, go ahead.
Before we go, I'm gonna put Eden onto Zata's back. And we're just gonna continuously cast the light cantrip on something he's wearing, almost so he can be like a little beacon as we are running through this fog.
Love that. That is definitely helpful.
Yeah, and in the same
I could do that. I could just cast light on myself.
Well, too late. I'm already doing it.
I'll cast light on Eden. I'll just cast light on Eden's feathers. There you go.
in the same vein, Killian will light a torch and kind of be at the back of the pack.
Cool. Yeah, keeping at the end of the herd, the tail, the slower horses, the smaller horses, the ponies. Okay, beautiful. In that case, let's just have Zata, the leader, roll a survival check with advantage.
That's a natural 20. So that's going to be a 26.
Holla. Love that for you guys. Okay. Zata. Midday. This mist has been consistent. The sky is gray-blue. No wind to be had. The horses are just riding steadily, beautifully, not even trying to separate from the herd. For a group of wild horses, the routine that you all have set has, in a way, started the training of these horses that would have happened after they were purchased. Can you feel the freedom? At points, I think Zata just gets off your horse and just to feel the earth beneath your feet and the grass stinging your paw pads. And at one point, Zata, you are watching the herd as you run alongside them. And you just see these strange shapes amidst the horses running. Horse-like, but made of the mist, made of the fog. You almost see the mist of the rain, like dripping off of something that's not there in the shape of a horse. Many of them dispersed through this herd, making your herd double, triple in size almost. And you've heard of this. You've never seen it, but your journey with your party here, with your friends, your allies, your found family and partners, you can see these ancient spirit horses of legend known throughout these lands, galloping with the herd that you're guiding in freedom and in wind and in peace and unity and balance. You know that these are only seen by those with the purest intent for the land and the people here and the animals. And it speeds your travel, and your friends start to see it too. Shortly after you do, everybody starts to see these spirits of horses. Killian, you watch them riding and closing in around Casimir, and Casimir seems to catch a second wind that day and starts to gallop a little bit more proudly, a little bit more fiercely, and Eidos and Seraphina, you both look at each other as you see these rain-soaked spirit horses almost keeping the herd even more in line and speeding you all along and giving all of your extra power. Bula, Maraway, you are playing together almost, weaving in and out of the herd itself as you all travel. And by early afternoon, they dissipate, the sun comes out, and the kobold, the initial one who hired you all, comes spurring his pony up to come alongside Zata and points through the little bit of just like, it's not even misty rain anymore. The sun has come out. It's drying the land so that from the grass, there's just this like low-lying like condensation rising from the earth, and sort of points through it and says, "Do you see it? The home city. We've come." And sure enough, you can see over the mist the low but endless amount of thatch and straw and wooden roofs of the city of Elt'tes, the waypoint of the eastern tribes and the ancestral home of the Leonin race. And you all make haste for the city. It is massive. It is a trade hub. It is all these different tribes from all over the eastern continent will gather here a couple times a year to gather supplies, to trade warriors, to do ritualistic marriages and allyships and declarations of war, and whatever groups of people need to meet for happens here in Elt'tes. Elt'tes being so mighty and so powerful because all of the great Leonin tribes of the eastern continent have made it thus. It is, for a nomadic tribe, Zata, this is your family's ancestral. This is the closest thing they would call home besides just the open land and the sky. and thus the city is brutally beautiful as you all get closer. Eventually, the kobolds tell you to meet them in the morning to gather to claim your prize. There's not a tortoise folk in sight. Their rivals, who were also on the same path, could not even begin to compete with you. You haven't caught a glimpse or a hair of them, back or shell, this whole trip. And so they give you a solemn nod and point to the east side of the city and say, meet us on the coast tomorrow and we shall claim our prize together. As they take off with the herd and the 6 of you on your horses, which it appears have been gifted to you, ride into the city, which is clamoring with tribes. Some parts of the year, it is a dead zone, Zata, you know this. At some points, it's just abandoned huts and grassy fields. There's no farming to be done here. There's no sustainable population. There is ocean on one side and the grassland on the other, and structures to let people sleep out of the sun while they're here. But at this time of year, it is bustling. It is full of people, and no one seems to be inside. All the action happens on the streets. You see a pub fight in the middle of a road. You see on top of a roof, there's someone screaming down their some sort of battle cry or declaration of strong emotion. You see just an array of life and excitement and passion happening here, with no discernible rhyme or reason or structure. It is just groups of people with all their different cultures clashing in one place. And lots of trade happening. And so, that being said, where would you all like to head as you come into Thelt?
I was just gonna ask, what's like the general population look like? Is it like mostly Leonins, or?
It is one of the most diverse populations you've seen. It is mostly Leonin in that like 3 out of 10 people are Leonin here. However, the other 7 out of 10 people are all different races, ancestries. They all do appear to be like of a nomadic like dress and culture. But you see kobolds, you see dragon folk, you see humanoids, elves, dwarves, you see a large thriving tribe of like very barbarian looking halflings, like just painted in blood. You see all types of rhyme or reason of people here. A lot of like what you would call like animal folk, much more so than you would on the middle continent. People like Leonins and Tartus folk.
I'm gonna go find the best stalls that I know of for the food, because I want Bula to try and everybody to try the different types of food, the very spicy food that's here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So I'm gonna
You find
She sees you heading toward the food stalls, which already had her attention, and she's like, "Where you going? What you doing? What's the best thing? What can we eat first?" And she's just like giddy about eating
Look,
food.
I'm gonna let you try so many things. Toasted basilisk is really hard to come by, but we're gonna see if we can find some for you.
What else?
Are we
Okay.
like stabling our horses, or are they just coming with us?
We're gonna come with us.
I mean, in a city like this, there's not like a feasible stable. You can just like lead them down. A lot of people are holding on to their mounts if they have, just walking with them, or even riding them through the streets where there's space.
I'm gonna
Seraphina's
lead
just
us.
riding.
I'm
She doesn't
gonna
get off.
Go to lead to a spot that like where our tribe would usually go and put down like the huts that we usually occupy. So I'm gonna try to like go through the food stalls, let them see like the jewel, like show Seraphina like the jewelry we kind of make from like rough gems and animal bones and stuff like that, and then get some of the wine and like alcohol that we make here, because not the same type of way that you can really make it, but I can at least like show them that. And then Killian, I'm like we can show you some good reins, I guess, for your horse. I don't know what you need. We don't really have a big following. Okay, well we got tons of food. I hope you like space.
Okay, you head in the direction of first like the couple of really good food stalls that you know of, you do manage to find, with this level of population here, you find someone selling not fried but roasted basilisk, and it is coated in this like deep red seasoning that just like immediately makes all of your eyes water with the spice, like just wafting off of it, nonetheless taking a bite.
Nice.
And it is
This
So
is
Flavor
really good,
Town.
Bula.
Bula like takes a bite of this, kind of shoots flames back out her mouth, and then just makes the most inappropriate not should be for food sounds that you've ever heard. And she is just so enamored with this dish.
You are hot Cheetos, girl.
Oh my gosh. She's like, this is the best thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. And I've
Just
had some
tears
real
streaming.
good biscuits.
Mm.
Nose
she's
running.
she's like, you know, getting the snot away and just like taking another bite, and there's still tears just like flowing, but in such
Yeah,
a
oh
good
yeah.
way. In
Yeah,
such
all
a good
flavored.
way. Just makeup ruined and still smiling.
And as you're all stopped at a separate stall purchasing a round of local like potato alcohol, like very good, just very clear distilled potato alcohol, you all have like a sense of deja vu, as first a few people and then more people and then a crowd are either running away from something afraid, looking back over their shoulders, some screaming for help, while others, this being a place of warriors and tribesmen, are running toward whatever these people are running from. And just like the first time you all met and shared a drink together, you find yourselves looking at each other. How can this be happening again? As you hear this crazy, like, almost like explosion of sand, like it almost sounds like rock rain, come from like way down the road, and people screaming and cursing, and this crazy guttural wet bellow of something cries out into the air as all hell breaks loose. And that's where we're gonna call it for tonight.
Bula's like,
Listen.
with a mouthful of just this decadent spicy dish, she's like, right now?
I feel like
Seraphina?
everyone else is very, how can this be happening again? And Maraway, who is completely blindsided by the amount of times we've been attacked since he's come to the material plane, he's like, why is this always happening again?
Killian's
Seraphina
driving
has flashbacks of Petunia and Go-Go.
Killian's so used to this chaos, he's just absolutely focused on his mouth that is the inferno after biting into this spicy stuff.
He's like, everybody must be eating the same spicy food. Yes, that's what people are screaming about. All right. Come back next week as we figure out what is happening down the street, as we figure out if Bula can hold an axe in one hand and a bite of roasted basilisk in the other. Join us again, we'll find out. And let's find a Leonin tribe. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. Love you all. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay cool.
Bye bye.